It takes me less than 30 minutes of work.
Did you graduate university?
No.
You didn't. You
No.
seem smart though, okay? If you sell the same amount of people and you double your price, you're gonna double your business.
Yeah.
Cool thing, I'll build it all for you. And so you kind of hit on that more than the fact that they would have to go figure out how to do it on their own.
Hi everyone, my name is Alaric and I'm from Singapore. So I flew all the way from Singapore, 3 flights, 30 hours to come over here. And then after this, I'm going to fly 30 hours back to Singapore. Now I run this business called OmniConvo.ai, which is an AI chatbot platform. It's like a SaaS kind of business that allows people to build their own AI chatbots that can be integrated with WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, SMS, and websites. And then it has like live chat and human agent features, etc. In the past, I used to run a coaching business. So I grew that coaching business from $0 to $1.2 million in 18 months. So now I decide I want to do a SaaS business instead. I still run my coaching business. I still have clients and all that, but like this will be my main focus. And yeah, on top of that, on the side, like I have a closing business as well. I train a team of closers, and then we help speakers to do closing. Yeah, there was one day I saw like someone saw me in Singapore, like on the street, right? And then he messaged me on Facebook saying, "Hey, I saw you at Woodlands," and I was like, "Oh, then why didn't you come up and say hi?" He said, "I'm your Facebook friend, but I'm a little bit shy, so that's why he didn't come up and say hi." So I was like, okay, no worries. Anyway, what do you do? So he told me like, oh, he's a chemical engineer, and then he is like in network marketing and all that. And he said he wished he could learn from an expert like me. Now at that point of time, I never thought I was an expert. I mean, I was just doing sales and marketing. Like I never ever perceived myself as an expert. But being very entrepreneurial and opportunistic, right? I knew that okay, there's definitely money to be made since he said that, right? So I said, okay, I don't really do coaching, but like if I were to do coaching, how much would you be willing to pay for it? So he said, I don't know, you charge. And then I said, okay, how about $250 for an hour? Which at the point of time I thought was a lot, right? And then he was like, that's a lot. Can I like invite 5 friends and then like we can share the cost of this $250? So I was like, okay, how about this? $250, and then I'll give you like some ebooks to read that will help you in your network marketing business. I'll give you my full SOP on how to grow a business, and I'll give you all these resources as well. So he said, okay. So he took a cab all the way from Woodlands to my house, which is like pretty far. And then we did a 1 hour session, and then he gave me a testimonial and he passed me $250. And I made the first $250. I was like, hey, that's quite good money, you know? Like a McDonald's employee would take like maybe 20 hours to make that kind of money. So after I did more of that, so I charged like 2 hours for $500, etc. And then I thought, hey, I couldn't scale this because it's just 1-to-1, right? So I did like 3-hour group coaching sessions. And my first time doing a 3-hour group coaching session, we had about 30 people. So I was like, I just made like $15,000 in 3 hours. That was like good money to me at that point of time, right? So as I kept going on, and then like I did like 2-day classes for $2,000. And then my first time doing a 2-day class, there was like 5 or 10 people. So I made like 10K, which is not a lot. But like during COVID, on the first day, there was like 120 people. Second day was like 80 people. So like if they come for first day, they pay $1,000. If they come for 2 days, they pay for $2,000. So I was like, hey, I made $100,000 in 2 days. That's pretty good money. That's what people take a year to make. And that's when I knew, hey, this is a good business to do. And so I just kept scaling from there. I had a media buyer helping me run ads, and then he just packed my seminars, and I was just doing seminars. Yeah. Right now, my automated webinar is not converting. When I did it live, it was converting pretty well. And then so like I'm seeing like how to improve the automated webinar and everything. And then I want ideas on like how to grow this SaaS business, because I know Elite 360 is a SaaS business as well. So he should have quite a bit of experience growing a SaaS business. I know he grew like $70 million in sales just from messaging and DMs alone. So I know that, okay, like imagine if I could use AI to automate the messaging, and then we don't need to hire setters, and then and it can be integrated with WhatsApp, Telegram, and all that. So I came to like understand his strategy and then see how I can implement that in my own business. Yeah, nice to meet you,
bro. Man, you did. He said you flew 30 hours.
Yeah, I flew 30
Bro,
hours.
I'm so honored you're here. That is amazing. When did you get in?
Just last night, and then I'm flying tomorrow night back to Singapore.
Crazy. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, let's dive in. Like, why don't you give me a rundown of what your business does, revenue, etc., and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so right now the main focus that I'm doing is this business called OmniConvo.ai. So it's like an AI chatbot SaaS platform.
Nice.
that allows people to build their own AI chatbots that with like human agent functions. That means like a human agent can like intervene the chat.
Okay, and just so I'm clear on what it does, because there's a couple different versions I've seen, what you're essentially selling is you're selling them the software and then they build out what they want it to say.
Correct.
Okay, because it is so. Have you seen something called Zappy Chat?
There's like ManyChat.
Well, yeah, but I think it's the same premise. So just so I'm clear, because there's kind of two ways I see it. You have a bot like this, or you could have a bot like this, and the difference would be, so what you're selling, just so I'm clear, is you might sell it to 5 different people, and then these people will build it out, Y, Z, A, B, whatever. They're all building it out the way they want for their business. So this could be a trainer. And then the other way that I've seen is people will build out a bot, but it's only for this specific person. So you're doing more of this model.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool. Perfect.
Model.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the bots can be integrated with WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, SMS, and website.
Have you done, I don't know if you knew this, but it also go high level. If you can integrate it just through go high level, that could cut some of that down. So you don't have to go straight through the Instagram API. You could go straight. So yeah, cool. Correct. Okay, so integrates everywhere. Yeah, works with everyone. Okay,
it
what
works
else?
with any website. Like you just have
and
to copy
what's your website?
Omniconvo.ai. OMNI.
Okay.
Convo. CONVO. .ai.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Convo. I'm sorry. I was I was thinking way deeper. I was like, wait, I wasn't sure what you were saying there. Okay, so omniconvo.ai. Okay. And then let's keep going with what you got.
Okay, so like in the past, I used to sell AI chatbots to people directly, okay? So I would charge like $6,000 to $20,000 to build it for them, okay?
What, A to Z?
Like
and you'd actually build it out.
And I actually build it out and like
conversations, everything.
It's AI, so like I programmed the whole AI.
So you can actually program.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super. Because when you're doing tech, obviously, if you can program, that's one of the hardest things to do.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Okay. And so I used to sell it for like $6,000 to $18,000, and then
how long would that take you to finish? Like start and finish, like 3 months or?
The
build out's easy,
really honest,
the build out's easy, I'm assuming, but it's the actual conversations, right?
Yeah, so to be really honest, it takes me less than 30 minutes of work, but I would take at least 2 weeks to give it to them, because like if I delivered in 30 minutes, they were like, hey, I paid you. But
what about the combos? Like, are you doing only customer support, or is it like sales outreach as
customer support as well as sales and lead generation?
So what if they have a completely different offer? How do you change it so quickly?
So I I put the data of their offer into the AI. So I say, okay, like I teach it how to sell in terms of my sales script and everything, and then I put their offer into the sales script and then the payment link and everything.
So you set it up to where you don't have to try to like build it out so much yourself. Like meaning the way I think
it's a template, and then and then I just put in their offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So keep going.
Okay.
6 to 18,000. I guess you would deliver it in like 2 weeks, and it was a one-off.
Yeah.
And did they pay you for support?
They pay like $100 a month for the software subscription. Yeah.
So that's even good too. Do they get any support? So like, what if they're saying it's not working the way it should?
Yeah, they definitely get support. Like it's part of their part of their
but they don't have to pay ongoing for that. It's just basically this.
It's the $100 per month.
All right, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then sometimes I did sales calls, and some people they don't have a business. So I was like, okay, if you don't have a business, there's no point building an AI chatbot for you. Okay, so I thought, okay, how about this? How about if I build an AI platform for you, and then like this platform allows you to build AI chatbots for others, and then you can charge others $6,000 to do it. So
almost replicating this model.
Almost replicating this model, and then I was charging them like $3,000 to build this AI platform for them.
Okay.
And then they can build unlimited AI chatbots. Okay. So the way I structured it, right, was like.
But I guess the only question I have is it must be, but can you take a complete newbie who has no skill and basically show them how to do this?
They can definitely build an AI chatbot. But whether they can sell it or not,
right? It kind of depends,
yeah,
right?
But they can definitely 100%. Like within 5 minutes, I can teach them how to build an AI chatbot.
Bro, that is crazy. And are you using that through ChatGPT?
Yeah, so you use the OpenAI's API, but I teach them how to program the chatbot and how to integrate everything, how to integrate SMS, Telegram, all this kind of stuff, which you cannot do on OpenAI's.
That's pretty badass. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I used to sell it for $3,000 and then $100 per month subscription as well. Okay. So I used to do a lot of sales calls to do that.
And just so I'm clear, I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry. So 6 to 18, build it out for someone. Now you're selling for 3,000 here, and this is basically showing someone how to do that. Okay.
Correct.
All right, keep going.
Okay. So when I was doing sales calls, So I did a webinar. So like my business partner, his name is Vince Tan. He's a very successful entrepreneur in Malaysia as well. Like he has like an 8-figure business as well.
Nice. Okay.
So he promoted a webinar for me. So there was like 360 attendees at the webinar. Okay. And then 132 booked a call to talk to me. Okay.
Wow.
That's like a 40% appointment rate or something. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then another 9 booked after the replay. So a total of 141 calls were booked. Okay. So I was doing 20 calls a day, back to back, like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. No breaks at all. Okay. Like it was crazy. Okay.
How long are the calls?
30 minutes per call. 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then on 1st December,
crazy, bro.
there was
I love
17. On 1st December, there was 17 calls.
Okay.
15 showed up. 9 put a deposit. So the cash collected rate was 60%.
Okay, so 17 calls, 9 showed.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
how
9
many
put a
did
deposit.
Why did they do a deposit though? What's a deposit like? Because you can't roll it out that fast yet?
Like I would say, like, okay, you just put half first, and then like after I build the platform, because they don't have because like it's like I'm custom building a software for you, right? But they would have some reservations,
Right, so it's like half down, half after I deliver.
Yeah, or
Got it.
sometimes
Okay,
like
so when
maybe
you say
20%
deposit,
down.
it's really half down.
Yeah.
So we'll just say so all of them bought.
Yeah, all
So
of them bought, but some of them were like refundable deposits as well. Like there were some refundable deposits where
But it's half of this, 1,500.
yes,
Yeah?
sometimes
Okay.
it's 1,500, sometimes it's 1,000, sometimes it's 500, and then
Okay,
you need to raise
but
cash.
basically, long story short, you got
9 closes, yeah.
and they can get it refunded, but ultimately, it's like once you build it, it's like they
Yeah,
pay the rest, so they don't
it's
get
done,
it.
yeah,
Right.
okay. So stats on 2nd December, 16 appointments, 11 showed up, 7 closes. Yeah.
Okay. 11 show up, 7 close. Okay.
Okay. So I did sales calls. Okay, so in total, in 11 days of doing sales calls, I was having like 20 calls, like up to 20 calls a day. Some didn't show, maybe 70% or 80% show. And then the total sales is $108,000.
Okay.
108,000
For how many closes?
Okay. It was about 40 closes.
Okay, so 40 closes, and then that's only about half. So
Cash collected is like 30,000.
okay, so
Okay.
we'll just do 30K collected. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, okay. So that's when I did a webinar where they book a call and then we sell. For another one where I sold on the webinar itself, okay. So okay, last time when I built an AI platform, right, it was like a custom platform that was on their own domain name, etc. So like I could share with them that like I'm building a platform for you, okay. But after that, I built OmniConvo.ai, which is kind of like a SaaS model instead, which I'm like, literally delivering the same product to them, just that it's under OmniConvo.ai's domain name, okay?
Okay.
And I just create an account for them.
Okay.
So for OmniConvo.ai, they're like I sell it for $99.
Okay, so now, so I just want to make sure. Now we're talking about selling something different, right? So this right here
This is here,
was
yeah.
3,000.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't get lost.
Yeah,
And so
okay.
now you want to talk about selling this,
Yes,
correct? All right.
which
Okay,
is-
so let's
yeah.
come down here.
Okay.
You're good. I just want to
So-
make sure I don't lose you.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So OmniConvo.ai, it's okay on my website. I deliberately priced it at $149 a month.
Okay.
Okay, and then on the webinar, they can buy it for $99 per month for one chatbot. Okay, or $500 per year for one chatbot. Okay,
Okay, so 99 a month or 500 a
Okay.
year. And then just so
Or-
I'm clear, they're buying the same thing.
they're buying the same thing,
So this is the same thing.
but it's
Okay.
DIY. It's DIY. It's not
Right.
D-
Yeah, like,
it's not
instead
done
you're
for
building
you.
it out for them,
Yeah,
right? And
okay.
so, okay, keep going. I won't
Okay.
ask questions until you're done. Go
Sure.
ahead.
So $500 per year, yeah. Okay, and then if they want 10 chatbots, it's $299 per month, or $1,999, which is $2,000 per year.
Okay, or what was the other one?
$299 per month or $1,999.
Yeah, 19.
$199, yeah.
When you say chatbots, meaning for different offers?
It could be for different offers, or it could
Okay.
be one is for sales, one is for customer support, or for example, okay, some of my clients, they build, for example, okay, we built Tutor AI. So Tutor AI is like it gives tuition using AI. It gives tuition, right? So I crowd the whole 10-year series, all the O-level questions, all the exam questions into the AI, and then it tutors people automatically.
Okay.
And then it like, so this is a product that people can sell. So the AI becomes a product that people sell. So for example, we built like Bible AI. So we sell it for like $10 a month, and then like put the whole Bible into the AI,
Right.
and it can answer any questions about Christianity.
Oh,
etc.
okay.
And then we did like therapist AI, so it's like
Okay. So just so I can think of it, when you're selling the bot, it wouldn't be a bot that could do everything. You might say, hey, this one's for customer support.
Yeah.
This one's for sales.
Yeah.
This one's for fitness.
This is
This
a
one's
product,
for, okay.
yeah.
So, and why do you do it that way? Is it easier than doing it all together, or is there a specific reason, or is it, that's just how you do it?
Because okay, first of all, like when you train an AI on a specific data set, right? Like for example, let's say on the law. Okay, so we have lawyer AI. So we train the AI on the law, and this AI knows like Singapore law. You know, so it's number one, it's good for marketing. Like it's easier to sell and say,
Sure.
hey, you know, ChatGPT is for
And all your
American
clients are
law.
in Singapore usually?
I've got Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines.
Then how old are you?
28. I'm turning
28.
28.
Okay. So, okay. And then before, just so I have context about you as a person, you seem pretty smart. What have you done before this? Did you have businesses before this? Did you go to university? What did you do?
So I did a coaching business. So I
Okay.
grew the coaching business from 0 to 1.2 million Sing dollars in 18 months.
My God.
That
Way to
was
go.
like back when I was 23 years old. Yeah.
What did you sell?
I was selling like Facebook marketing coaching or like
Okay.
branding, like Facebook marketing basically.
Okay.
That was the main
Okay. So
offer.
kind of like ad agency, would you say?
But coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like so SMMA almost, like
Yeah,
where
but
you're
I teach
teaching
people
people how to
SMMA,
do it.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So you did SMMA before. We'll just say SMMA because that's easier for me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you did SMMA before. You ran that and then you stopped it. What was the reason you stopped?
Okay, so like in 2021, I came to Silicon Valley. I went to like Draper University.
Okay.
And after that, like I actually ended up traveling the world for 18 months. So like I went to Ecuador for 3 months, did a retreat.
Yeah, you should.
there.
You're 20, man.
And
Let's live it up.
then like I went to Colombia for 1 month, Brazil for
Okay.
3 months, Spain for 3 months. So I kind of like took my eyes off the business a bit. Like it was still generating passive
Right,
income
but
for
it
me.
wasn't as effective.
But it wasn't
of course.
as, like,
yeah,
you know.
of course. Okay.
And
And they're usually like a solopreneur. Like you don't really have a team. You just do it all yourself.
if I do have a team, it's always like freelance. So like I don't have a salaried employee. It's
Wow. So
always
you've never had a team at all.
never. Yeah.
Wow,
Like
okay.
I have a team of
Not
like
like in-house,
closers. I have a team
Oh, you
of
do.
I have a team of closers, but we pay based on commission.
Right.
And then we have a team of like
But are they in-house? When I'm saying in-house, they only work for you, or they also do work for other people?
No, they're not in-house, yeah.
Okay, so they do work for other people.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So then, what I really need to figure out, and when did you? So you started business around 23 years old. You've been doing that.
Since 19 years old, my first business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
so
first
you've been-
business was like a healthy food delivery business.
Okay.
And I led a sales team of 140 people. And then after I did a sales and marketing agency, and I
Okay.
did an e-commerce business selling
Okay.
cosmetics, and then I did my coaching
Okay.
business. And
And
then
now you want to go into this.
and then now I'm in AI.
So is there when those businesses stop? What's the reason usually? Is it because they're failing? Is it because you get tired? Or you get bored? Or
mainly because I
you
get bored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you graduate university?
No.
You didn't. You
No.
seem smart though. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that like that.
I went to
matters. I mean,
Draper University, which is like Team Draper, the
Yeah.
billionaire venture capitalist. It's a
yeah.
1 month program. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't finish college either, but you started pretty young. Okay, so I guess the first thing I want to ask is, what's the goal? Because if I don't know what your goal is, it's kind of hard to direct you. You have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to have some insight, but it depends what your goal is. So,
Yeah.
what is the goal?
So my goal right now is to earn recurring passive income.
Okay.
Like I've done high ticket, I've closed high ticket,
Okay.
and like it didn't really fulfill me because a lot of times, like if I close high ticket, I still have to fulfill. I still have to do 8 weeks of coaching, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas like right now, I just want to earn recurring passive income where like
Okay.
you know, like once people connect the bot to, let's say, their Instagram, they're hooked. Like they will not stop. It's like ClickFunnels. Like,
I agree.
like once you're hooked,
I agree.
you won't stop because
I
it's
agree.
integrated with all your social accounts and like
Okay.
all your clients, your CRM, it's all there.
Okay. This may just give you some things to think about. So what I'm doing currently up here, we'll just keep it easy though. So it's income, right? Here's risk.
Okay.
Okay. Down here is time. Then it's effort. So one of the things you obviously know I do high ticket.
Yeah.
One of the things about outcome, sorry, I said income. That made no sense. Outcome. So one of the things about high ticket that makes it a little tough, right, is the outcome's good. There is a good amount of risk, right? Because it could work, could not work depending on the person, right? It takes time and it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So it's harder to sell. And so, my company's gone as high as about 2+ million a month. And when we couldn't scale past that, I thought I was doing something wrong. I really did. I couldn't figure it out. And I tried this and I tried that and I did that. And then finally, what I realized, I said, you know why I can't scale past that point? It's the wrong business.
I see.
Right? Because if you think about it, why is it harder to sell? Because you're selling people on, you got to put in a lot of time, you got to put in a lot of effort, and there's a lot of risk.
Correct.
So what I like about what you're doing is, for anyone who's watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, is what have you done? Well, the outcome is good because they want something that will do the work for them. So it's a very great outcome. There's not a lot of risk, especially, let's just say, and you had this up here, but let's say there's very low risk here because if it doesn't work, what can they do? Cancel, right? They cancel. Doesn't take any time.
Yeah.
Because the way you're setting it up, and correct me if I'm wrong, even the way you're selling this, you're selling it to them pre-made, or they have to do it. Or you're showing them how to do it, but they do it themselves.
95% is done for them. Like
they just
with
do a
this
few
platform,
things.
they just have to, like, in 7 minutes, they can build their own AI.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So very little time, very little effort, right? And so that's why that's a good model. Now, what's ironic, I think it's funny that you're doing this. One of the companies I'm building behind the scenes right now is something similar, but it's for a very specific avatar. So what you're kind of doing, and this is just something maybe for you to think about. You're doing, I'll just delete that. So we have this right here. I'm gonna keep that on the board for a second.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're kind of going the general business. So I'll just call it GB.
Okay.
And you're setting it up. You're setting up the shell, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm a trainer, I got to do a couple adjustments based on I'm a trainer. Or if I sell SMMA, I got to do a couple adjustments. That's kind of what this is, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so here's what I'm doing. We're currently in the process of one of my companies. I think it'll sell for 8. I hope maybe 9 figures is a stretch, but I definitely know it could sell for 8. We're doing a bot similar to what you're doing, but it's only for trainers. The way I'm doing it, that's a little different than you, is I'm actually building out the entire chatbot myself. Meaning, when I started my company, what was the first company I had? It was a fitness company. So I can actually go in, we've set it up where the developers I'm working with, they've set it up to where I can go in and respond and save all the responses to the database. So I'm building it myself.
Okay.
The benefit, in my opinion, this is just for you to think about, because I don't see anything wrong with what you're doing, but I want you to think, because you're a smart guy and I know you could definitely do it. Is the reason I'm thinking of going for trainers is 2 reasons. One is competition.
Yeah.
So the only thing, and this is just things I'm pointing out, it's not bad. The only thing I don't like about the model you're doing is there's a lot of people right now trying to go general business. Meaning, when I say general business, hey, are you a business owner? You want a chat bot and da-da-da. So what the hard part is, if you're selling this and someone else is selling this, it's already, you know how it is, that's high ticket. That's even high ticket. Like when someone's hiring me versus another business coach, why is it difficult for us to sell? Well, why should I hire Tanner instead of this guy? That's one of the things I worry about here. It's not something you can't overcome, but I think it can make it harder down the road. So that's number 1. What we're focusing on is trainers. Number 2 is these people here. Yes, you have it pre-made for them, but here's the other thing I worry about. They're not actually good at sales. Right? So think about it. When I have trainers who can't sell, why can't they sell? Because they suck. So what I'm trying to do with mine, and so we'll just call mine, this is actually what we're going to call it. We're going to call ours trainerchat.ai. Is if I only do it for trainers and I build a database only for trainers, kind of like what you said, it's easier how you said you had different bots, because I agree with that. Then if I take someone who's horrible and they use mine, the hope is that if I'm their setter, for example, they'll get way better results than they ever could by themselves, which also makes it sticky. Okay, so that, I'm not against what you're doing, but something for you to think about is, could you go after a specific niche and do more of the back end work so they don't have to do anything, and so day one they get better results? Because the thing I worry about here is you're giving them the shell, it's basically done, but if they're not good at sales, when they buy your stuff, my concern is they're gonna do what they think they should do, but they don't actually know what they should do. Does that kind of make sense?
Got it.
Do you follow on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something to think about there. That's just an overall concept. I like where you're going with it though. Okay, so the next thing is, then I think you really have to decide what it is you want, because here's the funny part. We'll have everything clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the part that I think you got to make a decision what you want to do. So here's the funny part. You started telling me about all your numbers here.
Yeah.
Your numbers here is stupid. right? Meaning stupid in a good way. You're selling this, you were selling this at 6 to 18K, and then you say, you know what? Instead of selling this, and I guess walk me back, why don't you want to sell this anymore? Why did you want to do that?
No, I still sell this.
So you do both.
Yeah, I do both, yeah. But like now with OmniConvo.ai, like I'm a bit stuck because like this is like mass market, right? And then if those people that paid 6K, they look at they can buy it for 149, a little bit. That's why like I'm quite lost in my business right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so
like it worked.
But this is why it matters what your goal is. So here's the deal. High ticket is easier to sell because your webinar doesn't have to be as good.
Yeah.
Your marketing doesn't have to be as good. You can get on the call, right?
Yeah.
And so something that I think is interesting is right now, these were the numbers these numbers here were for this, right? So if you're getting 17 people on a call and you're closing 50%, or you're getting 16 people on a call and 11, you're closing 80%, which is absurd. So that tells me two things. One, price is too low. So I just want to go over a couple things so you can see where you're at. So one, your prices are too low. Why? If you're selling that easily, and I'm not trying to take away from you as a salesman, but typically that means they think the value is so high, that's why they're not hesitating, right? So you usually want to have a balance is if this is your price point 0, and let's just say this was like 15K, right? The whole goal is like, where's the median? Where's the median where we're going to get maximum sales, but we're also not, I guess not maximizing revenue. And so my initial thought, selling this for $3,000 is too cheap. This one here, I don't remember what your numbers were, but if this is the same type of deal, you want to kind of find that sweet spot because at the end of the day, what's the easiest way to double your business? Double your price.
Correct.
If you sell the same amount of people and you double your price, you're going to double your business.
Yeah.
So I like what's going on here. I think if you're a solopreneur, what I found in my experience is having one business versus 3, you're going to make more money just focusing on one. So I think you need to decide where your opportunity is. You're obviously very smart. You've already had a bunch of businesses. You obviously have some money in the bank. You're not destitute or in a bad position.
Yeah.
But I think you got to decide which way you want to go. Here's my initial thought. I don't think it matters if you want to do this or you want to do this. I think the upside here is, well, I guess I back this up. This here, you're building up for them. I guess the thing that is a little confusing for me is I actually like this offer better, and I'll tell you why. Because they need you to make it, and then there's an endless amount of businesses who need this offer. What you're doing here is you're actually creating your own competition.
Yeah.
And you're charging less than here, which makes no sense. So think of it this way.
Yeah.
If I'm going to create my own competition, this number I think should be like 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000. Because you're familiar with Go High Level, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so Go High Level, they have a agency option. So we actually have a white labeled version of Go High Level called Elite 360. We have clients who will come to us and say, hey, I want to build out this same thing for my clients. Well, we're then creating our own competition, right? Because we want them to use our stuff.
Yeah.
And not refer our stuff to their clients, not refer their own thing. So, for example, when someone comes to us and says that, we're charging them $15,000 to $30,000 because we say, well, look, if you want to do what we're doing and we're going to build it out for you, you need to pay more. So,
but do they know that it's Go High Level or?
They do, but they don't know how to build out the agency model. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Go High Level is the structure, right? Go High Level is $1 billion business already. I don't know if it's multi-billion, but it's billion. So when they're doing the agency model and they're giving, so we'll just do this. Let's say we're over here. So we'll just say this is Elite CEOs, right? And then these are just other clients.
Yeah.
Okay. The difference with us is we've already built out all our stuff for coaching clients. So we have coaching texts, funnels, emails, all that type of stuff, right? Go High Level doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So then when our clients come to us, let's say our clients are over here, okay? When our clients are over here, they want to take the same stuff and basically rip it off. But they can't and sell it for themselves, but they can't without the agency model. So the hard thing is that they don't usually know how to do it. They don't know how we set everything up and all the intricacies and all that type of stuff. And so that's similar to what you're doing here. If you're going to sell this, I would like to see you take this price point and go, between 15 to 30K, because this to me is a better offer for you because you hold all the cards.
Yeah.
you can keep selling it. There's endless businesses. This here, you're creating your own competition for nothing. I don't really understand why you would do that. Now, I do know it's a different type of client because you're saying, hey, these are beginner business owners, so maybe I sell beginners this, and then I sell experienced business owners that. But again, now you're in the same realm of which business are you really focusing on? Now, I guess I do have a question. When you're selling these two packages, are they coming from the same lead source? Meaning, do you run ads or how do you get your leads?
So like this $6,000 was mainly sold by one of my like affiliates. So he just sold and then we split 50-50. Yeah. So like he closed the deal completely and then I just built up the thing.
So you don't sell any of these yourself?
No, I do sell some of them myself from my own networks.
But how do you make your sales? Is it organic? Is it
was
ads?
all organic. Like I didn't run any.
So you don't run any ads at all?
Okay, the constraint for this $6,000 offer, right? For example, let's say we build therapies AI and all that. The constraint, right, is that okay because they can't sell this AI. You know, like by right, if they can sell this AI, let's say they sell therapies AI for $100 a month and they get 100 customers, they get $10,000 a month. That's the goal, right? But the problem is that a lot of them, after they have the AI, after they build the AI for them, they're very satisfied with the AI. So there's no refunds or anything. They're satisfied with the product. But there's always that second step, which is for them to sell it, which they lack. And I don't think it's sustainable because in the long run, I'm just going to collect a lot of 6K and then we build the AI. But like
this right here, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's when you say they need to sell it, this one here, up here,
yeah.
This one is where. So let's just use a personal trainer because so I'm a personal trainer. I come pay you 6K. You give me the bot that's going to do my sales outreach. Let's say.
Yeah.
So they're not selling the bot; they're selling their product.
Okay, so
correct?
So if you're a trainer, okay, there's two kinds of AIs I can build for you. The first is I could build maybe Tanner AI. And then Tanner AI teaches people fitness.
Right.
So people will pay $100 a month to subscribe to Tanner AI.
Got it.
And then you make like recurring passive income.
Right. And so
the AI becomes the product.
So it's almost like it would be like maybe like a low ticket app.
Yeah, you know, and I sell them that, hey, you know, you could become an AI, so it's going to increase your brand revenue. Like it's going to increase your brand. Okay. It's going to increase, like you can make recurring revenue and then it doesn't take so much time.
So it basically does the fulfillment,
It does the fulfillment, okay? The second way is I could build an AI for them that helps them to handle their customer support and their sales and which is, you know. And for that, the problem with that is that a lot of times it's hard for them to make 6K from of value from setting appointments and all that.
Why
sense.
though? Because they can't get customers, or why?
Okay, maybe because I didn't target the right market who were already marketing or already generating leads.
Yeah, because because you have two options. You have two options, and this is why I was asking. So just so I'm clear, when I was asking about this, let me be more clear with you. So when we run ads, you're in a good spot though, dude. I mean, the thing that's fun where you're at is you're in a great spot.
Thank you.
So when we run our ads, just so you're clear, let's say we run our ads to a DM. So when I say DM, let's say IG or Facebook, right? Okay, so they go here, and then inside here, we'll send them to an opt-in page, and then we hope that they watch a VSL, and then they book a call. All right? Now, a lot of our ads, you've seen my ads before, yes? Yeah. Okay, so, hey, are you a business owner or whatever? So we get two types of customers. We get beginners, let's say, and we get more experience. So people who are already started a business, let's say 10K plus a month, people who haven't started a business. So because of that, we have different products, but I also have a big team, right? So when they come through on the sales call, my guys can go, oh, you're more experienced. We're going to sell you this, right? Could be this thing. Oh, you're less experienced. We're going to sell you that. Okay. The reason I was asking you that is you're getting your leads organically, which means you're choosing who you're selling to, right? I think you need to decide what it is you really want to sell, because I agree. You can't sell a chatbot that does a lot of sales. Well, you can, but here's the issue. If you let's say you sell a chatbot to a trainer, right? We'll use the trainer example. Yeah. To go make sales for them or set calls. If that trainer doesn't understand how to do sales calls, doesn't understand how to do the fulfillment, then that bot's useless is what you were saying. Correct. Right?
If you don't get enough leads, it's useless.
Correct. So that's an issue. Yeah. So then here, if you're selling the bot here for a beginner and you go, hey, you can sell what I'm selling, then you don't have to worry about that, which is I think what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. So that part makes sense to me. I think what you need to decide though is this.
But there's a constraint here as well, which is that they have the platform, they're satisfied with it, but they can't sell and find clients, you know? That's a huge problem. And that's why I was like, you know what, screw it, let's just sell low ticket, like, so that I just...
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's why,
So,
you know,
okay,
yeah.
so I understand what you're saying. Okay, so let's get rid of this and let's just talk about what your options are.
Yeah, okay.
So I think the dream, and again, it's your life, it's your business, you can do whatever you want, but I think we need to talk about the pros and the cons. So one thing that I like that's going on in Elite CEOs right now, I just want to walk you through my process. So it's cool we have this talk. So here's Elite CEOs, all right? And we get 50% people like you, so I'd say general business or people outside of fitness, and then we get 50% trainers just because I started in the fitness industry. So the cool thing about Elite CEOs is it's a big consulting company. So we have, hey, here's how you sell, here's how you message. We have all that going on behind the scenes. But the biggest complaint we get is what? Messaging. People hate it.
Wow.
So that's kind of, that is the same thing that you're saying.
Yeah.
So what I thought of is I said, okay, so if that's the biggest complaint, let's build out, so then this is trainer chat over here. Let's build out trainer chat. Now, why did I do trainer chat and not Elite CEOs chat? Because I know it's going to be easier to build a database for only trainers than to build a database for everyone. Now, we already talked about that, but stick with me on this. So think of it this way. I have two options when I'm selling trainer chat, and I've already talked about this with my team. They said, who are you going to target? Are you going to target beginners? Or are you going to target trainers who already have a business? So think of it this way. Elite CEOs, we already run ads. So we'll just put ad over here. We already run ads that come into Elite CEOs where we get 50% trainers. Then the trainers in here who are over 10K a month, guess what I can sell them? I can start here. I don't even have to market this to start. Now check this out. And this is just what I want you to be thinking. How much does a setter usually cost for a full-time business owner? Do you know?
$2,000
$2,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say $2,000 to $4,000 for a setter. Now, what's the downsides of a setter? Gotta manage them.
You have to manage them.
Manage.
And
make
then
mistakes.
Yeah.
We'll even say more expensive. So we'll say more money. Okay. So what I did here is I said, and here's my model, and you can think about this too. We'll get into this. I just want you to think about it. My model is going to be one of two things. It's going to be either cost per message. So it might be, let's say, hey, if you send 100 messages, it's, 0.05 cents a message, right? If you send 1,000 messages, it's 0.003, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that. Here's what I'm probably going to do. But this would be more for everyone. That's kind of what this is here.
Got it.
It's everybody.
Okay.
The other model, and this is probably what I'm going to do, is I'm going to sell it for $1,500 plus. Now you're going, well,
For
think of it
one
this
time
way.
or per month?
Per month.
Oh.
But watch, why do I think it will work? Check this out. We already run ads here, so we already get all these trainers. They're already getting coaching on how to sell, how to call, how to do it. So we're building that pool.
Yeah.
The biggest complaint they have is messaging. So we build this.
Yeah.
When they go to hire setters, what do they pay? They pay this. So if I can go to them and say, hey, I'll message for you because basically this is me.
Yeah.
And I'm the best, I'm one of the best in the game at that.
Yes.
Pay me $1,500 a month. And if it doesn't work, you can get your full money back. And this will book calls better than you can book calls.
Wow.
So here's all I'm trying to get you to understand. What you've built, and it goes back to what you said, what I've done is I've already built something and created the lead gen source for more experienced trainers. Now, the downside of that is you can't have as many trainers, but the upside is if I can sell this to someone who's already making 10, 20, 30K, that's what this product is for.
Correct.
Because if you give it to a beginner, what are they going to do?
Correct.
They can't afford it, and they're going to fuck up and make mistakes. And so that's kind of what you're saying is you're going, well, if I sell them the bot and I just build it for them, they can't sell it. But then if I show them how to sell the bot to someone else, they can't sell that either. So you're in a real pickle.
I know that now I don't have a problem, but if I scale this, I'll definitely...
Right, so you're in a real pickle. That's why you have a bigger issue than me because I have this big thing on the back end that people don't see that is going to help. And guess what? All these trainers who buy this, guess where they're going to probably also get? I'm going to give them access here.
Got it.
So we can help them because if they have this and they can't do the sales calls, guess what's going to happen? They're going to cancel. And I don't want them to cancel because that's the whole point of recurring. So I think here's a decision you have to make. So let's go back into your predicament. You're super smart and you're super skilled. I don't think you're afraid of hard work, but the concern or the issue I think you're going to run into is if you don't want to build a high ticket business where you sell that over the phone and then you also maybe help them sell it, then the problem I think you're going to run into is that now you're correct. That's why you would have to go this route where it's cheaper, because to your point, well, if I sell someone $6,000 and it's X amount of months recurring, or I sell someone even this and it's X amount of month recurring, not as many people will get results because those who can't sell, they won't get any clients. So I think here's your options. So option one is you sell high ticket as is. So if you look back at your numbers, and we'll go back to, you had the 6 to 18K option, which is you build the bot for them. So we'll just do done for you.
Okay.
And then this one, we'll say the 3K option is they sell the bot, right? They're selling it as you are. You can make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't get results, you can make a lot of money doing that. Or let's say not as many people get results, but to your point, now you have another high ticket business. You say you didn't really want to do it. I
don't mind if it's what's required to get it off the ground. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's just walk through it. So, but
I want to make a recurring, like that's the
right, and that's your goal. Okay, so great. So this is even better. So let's walk through it. So you could sell it as is.
Yeah.
Do you have any aspirations to sell it, or do you just want it to be cash flow?
Cash flow.
Okay, so if you don't care about selling it, that changes things too. Because if I want to sell Trainer Chat, I need to have them stay on recurring, and I also don't want it to be attached to my brand. I want it to be able to stand on its own. So the cool thing is this will help it. But if I can find trainers who can pay this much, here's another thing to think about. I can run ads to it. If I'm charging $1,500 a month, I can run ads to it. Why? Because I can liquidate some of the cost. The other downside of you running at low ticket is what? You can't really run ads to it.
Got it.
Okay, and you know that, but I just want to point that out. So we'll walk through all your scenarios, but here's the first thing you could do. You could sell the 6 to 18K or the 3K as is, and you just run a normal high ticket team. You could I don't know, you probably get to whatever you wanted to get it to, a couple $100,000 a month, maybe more, but you're going to have the typical internet marketing trade-off, because the hard thing is what? When we go back to, we have the outcome, we have risk, we have time, we have effort. What you're selling hits that, but when they buy this and then they have to make sales,
effort.
It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. There's more risk. And so it's not really in that good spot anymore. Yeah. The initial sell will be good, but then you're not going to really have any recurring revenue. So you have to start over every single month. Okay, so that's option number one. Option number two is you would do maybe more of this model here, where the benefit I have is this thing has been running for 6 years. So it's already here. And so when I looked at other businesses and I started doing a bunch of interviews, I started talking to billionaires and all these other things, what I noticed is they didn't really go out and try to create something or think of something. They just looked at issues in their life and built something for it. So there's a guy named Justin Hartfield. He loves smoking weed. He built a company called Weed Maps. There's another guy who, I forget the company, it was a candy company, but he felt, hey, there wasn't really any really fancy candy companies, and so he built a fancy candy company. I think it was like Sugar Fina or something. I don't know what it was. That's probably completely wrong. But they just looked for issues. So what I did is I said, hey, I have all these clients here. I don't want to build out a chat bot for everyone, because then that's going to take a ton of work, right? Think about building a database out for real estate, Amazon, everyone. That would just be hard. Like, especially if the bot works day one. Because the way you were kind of doing it here is it doesn't necessarily work.
Like it would probably be like 80% as efficient.
Right.
But
Right. And so if they're not a good client, it won't work. So I know that to get a really bad client results, the bot day one has to be 100% perfect. Right. So that's where this came from. And then I said, well, I could charge low ticket, kind of like what you were saying, or I could do high ticket. And the reason I like high ticket is because now I can run ads, because I can say, hey, it's $1,500 a month, or what would I charge for a year? Let's say, what's 1,500 times 12? Like 18 grand. So I could say, hey, it's 1,500 a month, or it's 12,000 for a year. And so now I can get massive cash up front and just push the shit out of it. That's what gets me excited. All right. So your second option is you could build a program around it. But that's going to be a ton of work. You'd have to, you'd have to be down to get coaches, setters, high ticket closers, etc. That's your second option. This is the hardest. Okay, so we'll say hardest, easiest, and then this one down here is probably going to be in the middle. Now, let's go back to your goal, because again, I just want you to have options, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to have no team, recurring info only, etc., then remember, if they're going to pay for this, at the end of the day, for people to stick on recurring, they have to be making money. So a great example of a company that's done really well, in my opinion, is Hyros. Are you familiar with Hyros?
Yeah, Hyros.
Now, why is Hyros great? Because it's tracking software. All the companies who can afford it do what? Make a ton of money already. And the way he shows them that it's worth it is he goes, with my software, if you spend $50,000 without it, you may make 150. If you use my software with the ad tracking, you might make 200. So if he charges 15,000 a year or whatever he does, it's a great offer.
Yeah.
The thing you're missing here, in my opinion, is you're going to run into the same freaking issue you're running into in number one, is what? You're going to sell it to people, but if they can't sell it, guess what's going to happen? They're going to cancel.
Yeah.
So that's always going to cause you a lot of churn, in my opinion, because you won't be able to stop that.
Correct.
So I think the question, low ticket. So I'd say, and this one probably is easy for you as well. So I'll put easy, easiest. This one, when I say easiest, is it's because you're already doing it. I would say this one's probably medium, though. That's probably medium. Hardest, easy. So regardless of how you think about it, the thing I think you're not thinking about is how will I get them to continue to pay? And the way recurring models work with SaaS is they have to make money. So the thing you're missing here, and really the thing you're missing in all of it, is that when they buy it, you have nothing guaranteed that they're actually going to make money, and you're not even going after that avatar. What I'm doing, and at least to start, is in Elite CEOs right now, we've had over the years, I want to say, let's just say 25,000 trainers. That's probably too much. I don't know how many trainers, but let's say we've had 5,000 trainers who've paid us at least $16,000 or more. If I get even a fraction of those people to pay this amount, that's already a multi-seven-figure business. And guess what? The people who pay me for this, guess what they already probably have? Setters. So I can say, hey, so you already have 2 setters, which means they already have a profitable business. They're already making money. Fire your setters, save $2,000 a month, and don't have to manage,
Don't have to
deal with mistakes or BS. What do you think? And then guess what? If this does better than the setter, they'll keep them. How do I know it will do better? Well, it's me. Do you really think their setter's better than me at conversations? And I'm the one who's building this out and saving the responses. So the way that I'm building this out, I don't know if you picked up on that, but the way I'm going to build it out is Elite CEOs already has this massive database of trainers. So here's all the trainers. I can go to these trainers and say, guess what? I have this new thing called trainerchat.ai. Let me set for you for free. So I would actually do the messaging for them. How many trainers will say no to that? None. And I'll build it out, and then we can beta test it. So what will happen is I will do all their setting. I'll go to different trainers and do the messaging. And then as I'm messaging, we've created it where I can just click a button. Let's say it's a plus button. I hit it, and it saves the response in the database. As the database grows, we'll beta launch it, work out the kinks, and then full on launch it. That's my plan.
Okay.
The difference between what I'm doing and what you're doing is I've already created a pool
Of
of exactly the perfect avatar who will buy and won't cancel. You don't have it. And the reason you don't have it is because, one, I think you're doing a couple things. You're going after everyone. There's pros and cons to that. When you go after everyone, everyone can buy it. But the downside is there's so many different industries. So there's a few things I might recommend you do. First thing would be niche down. These are just recommendations. It doesn't mean you have to do it. I'm just thinking out loud and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
So if you only built bots, omniconvo.ai, and you change it to real estate convo.ai or whatever, it's easier for you to get them results because guess what? If you build the bot all around getting, let's say, wholesalers or whatever, it's easier than, hey, buy this and do it for whatever you want, because already by nature, why do you think I didn't do, like I said, Elite CEOs chat.ai? I did trainer chat because I said, I got to pick the biggest single avatar we have in our coaching program and focus on that.
Got it.
Go to the other ones later. Because if I try to do real estate and Amazon FBA and all this stuff at the same time, I think it'll be a show. Then guess what? All the other competitors in the marketplace are doing it right now. I don't stand out at all.
Got it.
Right? So I think one, you can niche down. Number two is you have to figure out how you're going to go after that avatar. So there's only two ways you can do it. You either build something similar to Elite CEOs where it automatically does that, which I think is going to take you a lot of time, energy, and effort. I don't think that's what you should do. What I think you should do is if you niche down into something you feel you know the best. So let's say SMMA. Well, now, if you want to not have to build out Elite CEOs, the only way, in my opinion, is you're going to have to sell it high ticket, meaning this. You're going to have to go, hey, you're going to have to run ads. You're going to have to get them on the phone, and you're going to say, hey, it's $1,500 a month, or it's $12,000 for the year, and that's going to help you get customers, get recurring, but you can pay for it, because with this model, you can't run any ads. Or you're going to lose a ton of money up front. And I don't think they're going to stick because you have nothing here in place to show them how to get results. You're going to get a bunch of people in here who go, oh, I'm going to buy this and it's going to make me a bunch of money. And they don't know how to run a business.
Got it.
Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Hyros was built for people who already have a business, for example. I think you need to build it more for people who have a business. So then you would go high ticket. You could run ads here. And then once you do that, you would just bring in, essentially your fulfillment team would be setters. You would have setters who could come in and help with it. So that's my initial thoughts. I'm down to talk about anything you want, or if anything you think is illogical. But I think the biggest issue is if you're selling it right now to people who don't know how to make money. So there's only two things you can do, or three things. You sell it as is and you go, doesn't matter if they don't know how, because I'm going to sell it for 6 to 18K. I'll make a bunch of money. But then you always have to be on the phone, or you always have to have closers, and you have to be okay with that. Option number two is you build a program around it, and then you build it on the back end, similar to what I'm doing here. But I don't think that's the right move for you, because
could I do it the other way? Like the program becomes the back end, and then this
you could
work.
You could, but I still think you get more drop off, and I don't think that's the right decision for you.
Because if I did the coaching up front and then so like maybe 10% do this. But if I did it the other way, maybe
I agree.
10% take the program.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know if that's the best option for you, because you're starting from scratch.
Got it.
So you got to remember, I'm talking about a company I've had for 6 years now, and I've built it and reiterated, and we've built a massive list and thousands of clients, tens of thousands. So you could do that, but based on what you've told me and like your personality, I don't know if that's the best move. So then we go to this one, and I don't think that's the right move either. So here's what I would do, and I'm open to your feedback or whatever. Here's what I would do if I was you, if you really want to go with this. I think the first thing you have to do is you niche down, and then you build it out A to Z. Meaning this: let's say you did real estate. So I'm a real estate guy. I come to you. I get on a call and I say, hey, I want to make more sales in wholesale. You say, no problem. I built out realestate.ai. And when you buy this, it's going to set appointments for you around the clock, and it's already done. The reason I think it has to be done is, remember, what's the issue? If you sell it to him and it's not done and he doesn't know how to make sales, guess what will happen? He will buy it and then he will cancel.
Got it.
which then you're just going in a circle, which is what most internet marketing companies do. So I think you would have to niche down. Why do I think you niche down? Let me walk you through. Why niche down? I think it'd be easier for you to build out the back end. Now, if you're going, Tanner, I'm smarter than you think or whatever, and you can build out a back end for every industry, go for it. But when I say build it out, I'm saying the second this thing activates, every response is perfect, it's pristine, it's better than anything they could say.
Got it.
That's a big skill. I don't even know if you have that skill. I have this skill. Why? Because I built a multi-million-dollar fitness company and I've done all the responses. I know exactly. So when clients come to me and say, what do I say here? I know what to say. So I think that's the first thing is you niche down unless you think you can handle it. And then it has to be completely 100% done. Meaning the second that bot turns on, it's just boom, 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 setting calls, everything. And we can talk more about what that looks like.
Okay.
If you're able to do that, now you can run ads to this offer. So you don't have to do a coaching program. So if you sell something if I make a couple sales at 12K, well, now I have money to run ads. Yeah. And now when you run your ads, you go, hey, are you a real estate person? This is just an example. Are you a real estate person who wants to make more sales, but you're tired of working with setters and your sales team and you want something that is so good that it will make sales for you in your sleep? Click down below, watch the demo. If you think it's a fit, get on a call. Then they get on the call. And then once you have this, if you think about it, your business really isn't that complex because all you have to do is when they have issues, what's the issue going to be? Oh, this conversation, the bot said this instead of that. And then you would have a fulfillment team that just is constantly updating the bot and making it better.
When you say setters, like, so they edit the
This
AI?
is a fulfillment team. Yeah, like the fulfillment team. So what I mean by this is this company here, the only fulfillment I'm going to have, the only complaint you would have is what? Hey, the bot said this, but I don't think that's that good of a response. So I need to have people who are good enough at messaging that they could go in and fix it and not make a mistake. That's all I meant. So here, what I'm saying is in my company, what I'm probably going to do is I have a bunch of setters who work in this company. I'm going to move some of them over to that company and they're the fulfillment team.
Okay. Nice.
If your goal is I want to do millions a month, I think you might need to do something like this because I think there's more risk involved.
Yeah, I mean, this model can definitely do $100,000.
This to me would be the biggest model, but it's going to also take, more work.
I think what I'll do is this, the niche down and
right here,
I take it ads, and then we have setters to we have fulfillment that can developers basically.
And you could be the fulfillment to start. So when I start Trainer Chat, I'm not going to hire a bunch of people. I'm going to be everything. I'm going to do the sales calls. I'm going to do I'm going to do everything to start. And then once I get a couple sales, then I'll start hiring people.
Got it.
It's like any other business.
Yeah. So I'll do that. Okay. So for this one, right? If let's say I build a program that teaches people, and then this program can help them to succeed.
Right, and they just kind of build on their own.
Then would this still work, or it's completely
no?
It could just shut this down because this will affect this. If people
you shouldn't do both.
You shouldn't do both.
I don't know. Well, so okay. Let's back up. The only difference between the only difference between this. We'll do the split sign. Okay. So this one you're niching down.
Yeah.
Okay. This one we'll put a 1 here. It will be broad.
Okay.
So that's the first difference. This one is do it yourself. This one's done for you, right? So already, this would be easier because you can market it to more people and you don't have to build the whole thing out. It's just the shell. So hey, here's this. It's 80% done. Go in and add your answers. All right. This here is going to be high ticket. This here, it's up in the air. I don't know if they sell it over the phone. I don't think they do. Does it look like they do? Do you schedule a phone call or how do you buy?
I think,
or you just buy right on the site. You just buy right on the site. So this one, more than likely, you're not going to be selling this over the phone. Would you agree? Or were you going to sell this over the phone?
I will sell it through a webinar.
Okay, so it's harder.
Live webinar.
Right. So I would say this is harder here. This is easier. Because when you sell over the phone, it's always easier. In fact, dude, your phone numbers are insane. I mean, I was laughing. I mean, you're like, yeah, I was closed 100,000, did 20 calls a day for a week. I mean, that was crazy. Okay, so
But
here,
I really didn't like the lifestyle, like doing 20 calls a day, and then there wasn't even a lunch break. Like lunch breaks were when people didn't show up.
Yeah.
That's my lunch
yeah,
break.
you're a certified psycho, bro, for sure. And then you flew here 30 hours. Like, there's definitely something wrong with you, but we're okay with it. We're okay with it. So then this one here, you would have to do more fulfillment. Why? Because it's done for you. So if there's any issues, they're going to be like, hey, fix it.
Yeah.
I didn't like this answer.
Yeah.
Here, you don't really have to do anything.
Actually, I still have a lot of support to do here as well.
Why?
Because
What do
they would start messaging my support team, but
about what though?
about they're like the board, or they don't know how to make their board
Okay,
work,
so let's just say this is hard as well.
it's even harder.
So
actually.
here's the
because it's
trade-off.
even harder because it's harder for them to do it themselves than
Then
if
it's
I
just-
did. So this is
That's a good
easier.
point.
This is
Okay.
harder. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that.
Yeah.
And if you look at model, because I like using model, why do I like this? The reason I like this is the outcome's good. There's no risk. You know why there's no risk either? Because with these models, 30-day money back guarantee, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't have to take any time with this model, and it takes no effort. So it just crushes this model.
Yeah.
And that's what most SaaS companies do, which is why SaaS companies scale. So I think this is your trade-off. You have to decide. The only difference, in my opinion, and again, I don't know what their numbers are. If I could call the CEO of Zappy Chat, I'd say, hey, I'm curious, what are your numbers? How do you guys sell? What is your ad spend? I don't know. But I'm going to assume when you're selling something that's $2,000 max and you're not going to get on the phone for it. I mean, to be frank, if you were going to sell this, you would have to sell it for at least $2,000 max to get on the phone. Otherwise, it's not even pointless. It's not even a point, to get on the phone. So, in my opinion, you trying to sell this through a webinar is harder. Especially at some point if you're gonna have to sell it to cold traffic. Because you were telling me about, oh yeah, I had this webinar, 20 people, etc. But that's a warm audience.
True.
So cold, if you had, cold numbers are worse.
Yeah, definitely.
So the thing you'd have to decide here is, I think this is how you answer it. Can I run cold ads, cold traffic to an automatic webinar and get it to convert? And if the answer is no, I probably wouldn't go with this model. And I think that's harder.
Yeah.
This model is, can I run high ads to a high ticket phone call and sell it for a high price? I think this definitely is easier to do.
Got it.
Now, it's harder to build it out initially, but I think in the long run, it's a better offer. And the other thing is this too, is if you make them dependent on you, that's gonna be better. Now, both of these, technically, they'll be dependent on you, I think. But one of the reasons I also didn't love this offer as much is I had clients who came to me and they said, hey, we bought something similar to this model, and it took them 3 months to build out the bot in a way that was good enough to get results. Well, guess what though? They already had the skills.
Yeah.
But for a beginner, they can't do that. And so what I really love about this model is even if a beginner came in and they weren't as skilled, they have a better chance to win with this model than that model.
Yeah.
Because this is already doing all the work.
Done for them.
So there's pros and cons to each. I like this because I see it more likely to succeed.
Got it. I think,
But it doesn't mean you can't do this.
I'll do that. Like what inspired me to do this was I watched this. So he sold in Czech Republic, which is a very small country, right? And he just from an automated webinar, he scaled to 300K USD per month, just by like Facebook ads, and then the thank you page is a free trial, and then they go to an automated webinar, and then he sells bulk continuity. Like basically, this model that I was trying to do was the linchpin model, but yeah. So like that was what I was trying to do. Yeah. And
yeah.
like,
Well, but also keep in mind though, is able to be successful with this model because he has ClickFunnels right there.
Got it.
You don't have that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like this is ClickFunnels, and then this is his coaching, is it?
Right.
Okay,
So, but here's the model. Can I delete this?
Sure.
Or erase it? I don't know why I keep saying delete like it's okay. So and to keep in mind, a really good software, in my opinion, will sell on its own without having a coaching program. That's not what I'm trying to get you to think is, I have to have a coaching program.
Okay.
What I'm trying to get you to understand is the numbers. Your goal, so let's just backtrack so we're on the same page. Here's your goal, 100K a month. It's not a crazy goal. I'm not, for most people it is, but let's just put it in perspective. I've done as high as 2 million a month. So It's not like 100. Oh my gosh, that's it's you're not saying you want to sell a company for $1 billion. So we're good. Okay.
Yes.
So going back to this side, this is the low ticket model.
Yeah. No, I'm completely convinced on the high ticket model.
Yeah, I know, and I just want to make sure, but you don't think I'm shitting on it. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is this: is if you have these three things, do this model. If you can get free traffic, you can convert your webinar, and they won't cancel. Then yeah, do it. If you're confident that, hey Tanner, every webinar I can get 20 people or whatever, I can convert this amount, then there's no reason to do high ticket. It's harder. Why would you want to do high ticket?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do this, then the reason high ticket makes more sense is you can pay for ads forever. You'll close over the phone, which you've already shown you're a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have better. You'll get there faster. I mean, realistically, because if you're selling this for 1,500, you don't need nearly as many clients as that one.
Yeah,
that's all. But I'm not against it. I wish I could do this. Yeah, I wish I could do this. My clients who come to me, I wish they could do it too, but they don't have this infrastructure to support that. Mr. Beast would crush this.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beast. I mean, that's why he's so rich, bro. Because what he did is he built his traffic.
Yeah, so I definitely do the high ticket model.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 100%. Like I'll just keep doing more sales calls and then just keep closing, and the good thing is this, like once I build it, like it's automated.
I guess I'm curious. The people who've bought your these two.
Yeah.
What's happened so far? How many have you sold, and like what's their results, and like walk me through that.
To be honest, like so let's say, let's say we build therapies. Okay, there's two types of AIs, right? The one that is for setting appointments and sales and all that, and the one that's for like as a product. Like the AI is the product.
Mm-hmm.
For like let's say the SCD clinic, every month he's still maintaining his subscription, and he's quite good. Every month it deals with hundreds of messages for him, so it takes up it helps him to save a lot of his time. So that one is successful. But for for
like what's the majority? Like the 80%. So if
80% for the ones that build the product, like they can't sell it. Yeah.
And then what about the ones that
the ones that sold it was when I did a webinar for them. I spoke on the webinar. I sold it. They didn't do anything. I marketed the webinar. I sold it for them, and I gave them a percentage.
Oh, brother!
Like like that's the one. And they can,
So the problem ultimately for those two is they just can't sell it.
Yeah, but it could be because of the target market. Like they're like he was a psychiatrist or he was a lawyer.
And that's why I said you need to niche down. That was part of it because you're going to all these random companies, and it doesn't support what you're trying to do. So even think about Hyros.
Yeah,
Hyros can charge $15,000 a year because they're selling to guys like me who spend hundreds of thousands a month on ads, and so we go, yeah, $50,000 a year to save, yeah, that's a good deal, right? But if you go to a psychiatrist and he doesn't run any ads and he doesn't get high ticket customers, I think that's a different story.
Correct.
Right.
My other question is like, okay, like last time when you send so many DMs, does Facebook or Instagram ever block you? And like, what's the number?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's go over that. Okay. Can I erase all this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So typically, this is what's going to happen. So you got three types of scenarios, I would say. So the first is cold.
Cold outreach, yeah?
Yeah, cold outreach. So this is as bad as it gets. So cold DM. So cold DM means you send a random person a message, etc. Okay, so cold DM. Typically, you do 100 reach outs. I'm going to give you conservative numbers, meaning it could be better, but I'm going to give you conservative. So if you send 100 DMs, you get 15 responses. Out of 15 responses, maybe you book, 3 calls, you close 1. All right. Next would be your followers. So it's a little warmer, but it's not necessarily a warm lead, but it's a follower. So you might do 100 DMs. Let's say 30 respond. You book, 6 calls, let's say, and then you close, 2 to 3. Okay. Then you would have ads. So ads, hopefully, if you had, let's say you're running DM ads, right? It could vary, but I don't know the exact number on this, but it's going to be a little higher. So let's say 50 respond. You set, I don't know, let's say hypothetically you could close.
And for the ads, normally they are the one who initiate, right?
What was it?
The customer initiates the first message, right?
On DM ads, yeah. And DM ads, these are going to be more similar. These are going to be closer. This is the worst, right? The cold DMs. So what I see is followers respond better than cold. Ads are going to respond the best, obviously, because they're clicking on your ad and they come straight into your DM. And then this part will depend a little bit on your sales team and your messaging process, et cetera. But that's give or take what's going to happen. It's going to be somewhere in here. This part can vary, obviously, on your closing ability. But yeah, this is how much you can usually do. In terms of how many you can send per hour, typically what I say is 20 to 30 an hour. Okay, now the other thing to keep in mind is if it's a follower, IG and Facebook seem to allow you to send more. If it's a cold prospect, they usually will block you sooner. The other thing is you don't want to do copy and paste. If you do a copy and paste message, they'll block you faster. Don't do it. Meaning, hey, this is Tanner, da da da. Hey, this is Tanner, da da da. You need to mix it up. So if you're sending those initial messages, make sure you mix it up because Facebook and Instagram are looking for spam and they consider copy and paste spamming.
Got it.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question on that?
Yes. So 20 to 30 an hour. And like 24 hours or?
No, per hour usually.
I know, like
per hour.
Per hour.
Per hour. So 20 to 30 an hour. And then.
So you would do you do it round the clock 24 hours? So like you maximize that?
Yeah, as much as you can, of course. Okay. Yeah, as much as you can. Now, my company where we're at, we don't do a bunch of cold DMs anymore because there is a spam block and, past a certain, this is really mostly for beginners. Once you get your business to a certain level, doing cold DMs is not as efficient as just running ads, right? But when I started, I should say, my goal was to send, 20 to 30 an hour. And then I would try to send 100 to 200 a day. And then when I wasn't sending messages, I was on sales calls or working with clients.
So like, do I need to do all this if I wanted to go high ticket? Maybe once. Like,
no,
it's recommend.
I mean, bro, you're only trying to go to 100,000 a month. Yeah. So no. So the answer is no. I mean,
I could do it alone, right? Technically.
Yeah. So here's probably what you'll need. Okay. Yeah. And you could do it alone. So if you're doing 100,000 a month, let's say you never stop selling. Okay. Realistically, if you're gonna get to, there's a few. Okay. So let's walk through a few variables because I think you're overthinking it. So first thing is how do you run your ads? Okay. So there's two ways to run ads. You can run ad to an opt-in, to a VSL or a webinar, right? Yeah. And then a call. That's a very common way. That's probably what you do right now. Yeah. What we do is we run ads to a DM, right? Then they go to the opt-in. Then they do a VSL, then a call. Now, this one's better. Why is it better? It's easier. Okay. If you can get this to work, do this. Okay. Remember earlier you were telling me about your webinar? And you're like, hey, but my webinar, this and that. Yeah. If you can get that to work, this is easier. Now, if you can't, do this. The reason we do this is over the years, this just always outperforms this. So we just do this.
I see.
So that's number one. So if you're doing this, you probably only would need, keep in mind, let's say you sell the service for $1,500 a month. Okay. So you're going to need 60 clients. So let's say you need 60 clients to hit 100K. Could be less or whatever. I don't know what you're going to sell at. Could be more. But let's say. So hypothetically, if you're running to here, you may only need one setter to call people. Okay. So you might need one setter. Let's put 2 in parentheses, 2 max. Okay. All right. You would probably need 2 to 3 customer support. Okay. So we'll call it CS, customer support. And maybe you need like 1 sales rep.
But for 60 clients, because it's a software, right? I'm not selling coaching. I probably don't need so many support, right?
Yeah, so good point. I mean, you might even need 1 to 2. Okay, so we're not talking about a massive team here. We're talking, 3 to 5 people. Okay. Now, if you're doing this model right here, you're going to need more because you're going to have a lot more volume and you have to message every single lead. So the only difference would be instead you would probably have 3 to 4 setters. All right. You'd still have 1 to 2 CS and then you'd have 1 sales rep. So the only thing that is really going to change is going to depend on how you run your ads. And then if you run DM ads, you're going to need more setters. If you run opt-in ads, you're going to need less setters.
Okay. And what if I use AI to set my appointments for me.
Even better. Then you're using your own product.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then you need no
I
setters.
have to do that, right? If not.
Yeah, I mean,
not,
you can even say that. You can even say
like,
that could be something on your sales call
like
to go.
you came
And
on
by
this
the
call."
way, yeah, you go. And by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but you actually booked a call through AI.
Yeah.
I didn't message you.
Yeah. Okay, I think
Right. So, but yeah, to get to 100,000 a month, you don't need that big of a team. And the cool thing is that's what makes it easier for you. And you're smart enough to pull either off. The only reason I've encouraged you to do this model and not the low ticket is because then you can run ads and I know you'll get enough volume.
Yeah.
With that one, I don't know because if you came to me tomorrow and said, hey, Tanner, I have a 1 million person email list and this and this and this. Cool.
Okay. So I'm definitely doing this model. So the question is for the transition, right? Okay, for example, on Wednesday, my business partner Vince Tan, he's gonna market me one more time. And I'm actually using that webinar to find recruits, like to find affiliates, like to recruit affiliates. So initially the model was like, okay, come like sell 199 per year and earn recurring passive income. But of course now I can use that webinar to say, hey, you know what? Come and become an affiliate.
Right.
And then people will go to a call and then I will close on the call. Make sense? So like I'll still do the appointment.
The affiliate sets the appointment for you.
Yeah, the affiliates like markets the webinar. I set the appointment myself.
Yeah,
like
so
the
for example, that would be another way you could do the low ticket model. If other people you're getting your leads. But again,
but I want to like stick to the most proven model.
Yeah, I mean this to me, if like a guns to your head, I would choose.
Like I'll do that also.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just want you to keep in mind, I'm not against you doing that low ticket model. It's just if you ever run out of leads, it won't work.
Correct.
And this one, you won't ever run out of leads because you can run ads. The other one, you would.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this PowerPoint, of course, like now the offer is slightly different, but this was the PowerPoint. And this got about 132 out of 360 book an appointment.
Okay.
So it's about 40% appointment rate from attendees. So like the 3 steps to AI development, how you can own your own custom AI even without being good at tech. Why acquiring 100 customers can skyrocket your new AI startup's value to $2.4 million. And X plus YT plus LI plus F is like 100 customers.
I'm trying your first 100 customers.
Okay, so like they'll be like, what's this, right? And then later when I teach them, it's like Twitter
the goal,
and YouTube.
The biggest thing you want to take away is, are you creating curiosity? Like, for example, like what is that? That's good.
Yeah, okay.
And the cool part is, you would show how hard it is to build, right? You say you have to, because for you, the thing is you're a developer though.
Yeah.
So it's easy for you because you've already done all the hard work. But for someone like me who doesn't know how to develop, no matter how easy it is for you, it's not easy for me. So you go, it's so hard, you got to do this. But the cool thing, I'll build it all for you. And so you kind of hit on that more than the fact that they would have to go figure out how to do it on their own. I just think it's moving more that direction with the high ticket and then doing those little things that you're going to need to do, but you're in a great spot. There's nothing you show me. I'm like, oh my gosh, if you do that, it's not going to work. There's nothing like that. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
Is that it?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, man.
Wow, like Tanner blew my mind away, man. Like he completely changed my business model. Like I went in a completely different direction from where I initially wanted to go. And it was definitely worth the 30-hour flight to come here and the 30-hour flight back. Every single thing that he taught, like he actually knows everything. He doesn't like when he builds his whole business, he knows every single part before he even hires for that. Like, yeah, that was just amazing at like how he knows everything in his business and how to grow like even a SaaS business, which I think was really, really good. Yeah. It was 100% exactly what I wanted, and I know exactly what I need to do to, and yeah, just being like, just the mastermind like that, like the bouncing of ideas and everything. It completely gave me a whole new perspective, and I think I know exactly how to take my business to the next level. Yeah. If you're thinking about doing this, like 100%, you should definitely go for it. Like Tanner has built a $100 million plus business, okay? And I mean, he has so much of experience, so much of expertise, knowledge, skill sets and stuff. And he really knows what he's talking about. So yeah, like I was just blown away. Definitely come over here. Like if I came over here from all the way from Singapore, wherever you are, you have to come over here. Like Singapore is exactly the opposite side of the globe. Yeah, I took 3 flights to get here. Yeah. Hey Tanner, thank you so much for like doing this. Like I'm amazed how much of value and content you put out, and for free, like to YouTube and everything. Like when I watch your YouTube videos, it's like completely at a different level from any other coach or guru that I see. Keep doing what you're doing, and like thank you so much for just being in this world. Yeah.